Of pausing the conflict. Joining me live from Tel Aviv is Israeli government spokesman Avi Hyman. Avi, welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
Let's start with President Biden's op-ed in the Washington Post. I want to get you to react to it. He says, quote, "The United States is prepared to take our own steps, including issuing visa bans against extremists attacking civilians in the West Bank." He goes on, "Our goal should not be simply to stop the war for today. It should be to end the war forever." Do you think visa bans will do the trick? And is there a way to permanently find peace?
I think that one thing that the president said in that op-ed was that terror can no longer emanate from Gaza or from the West Bank, Judea and Samaria. And we stand side by side on that message. We stand side by side in saying that never again will Israeli children have to cower in closets. Never again will Israeli mothers have to jump on top of their children to protect them from incoming missiles. Never again will Hamas savages be allowed to push through our borders and behead our children. So on that point, we stand side by side with the American administration, and we thank the American administration and the people of America for their support. As far as the question about the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, I'll point out that there are 500,000 residents, Israeli residents of Judea and Samaria, 800,000 if you include the eastern parts of Jerusalem. There are maybe 100 or 200 hooligans that act out violence or criminal activities, and they are dealt with by the police.
We just heard the report from the White House about the work on a deal for hostages and a pause for fighting. Where do things stand from your viewpoint?
So what we know is that we've had hostages released, those 4 hostages, because we've applied pressure on Hamas, military pressure, diplomatic pressure, and that's exactly what we're going to continue to do with our mission, which is twofold. Firstly, to fully dismantle the Hamas military machine, to dismantle their ability to govern Gaza as they've done for 16 years, and to free those 240 hostages. We will keep up the pressure because we know that the more pressure we apply on Hamas, the more likely it is that those hostages will be released. And we want nothing more than the freedom of those hostages, than for those hostages to be reunited with their families in Israel.
I'd like to play a clip from Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen. He had some criticism today, and I want to get you to respond, sir.
I was disappointed to see Prime Minister Netanyahu smack down President Biden's call for a two-state solution. This is going to mean that President Biden has to do even more to put forward a clear vision of how we're going to emerge from this very dark tunnel into a brighter future.
How do you respond, Avi?
So this is a question about the day after Hamas. It's a little bit like talking about the intricacies of the Marshall Plan before D-Day. One thing that my Prime Minister has made quite clear is that the day after Hamas, the Gaza Strip will be demilitarized, the Gaza Strip will be de-radicalized, and we will begin to rebuild Gaza. The Palestinian Authority has proven themselves. They have proven, in fact, today they issued a statement denying what happened at that peace festival, at that rave where people were just trying to let their hair down, and instead 360 Israelis were gunned down by Hamas terrorists. The Palestinian Authority, that is run by a Holocaust denier, put out a statement denying that the atrocities of October 7th happened. So we'll have to discuss the day after Hamas when that day comes, and I hope it comes sooner rather than later.
Israeli government spokesman Avi Hyman, thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.